Mr. Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, Ring Rats Boxing Highs. Ed, it's been a crazy month for boxing internationally. We come back to the Copper Bosch. Is it repeat or is it improvement for Johnny?
I mean, I think that it's got to be improvement because I think Dave Allen will be a different kind of fighter in this fight. I think he'll be very confident. He's clearly had a much better training camp than normal. But you'd have to think, and you definitely hope, that the experience that Johnny got out of that 10-round war is going to put him in great stead. But also, I don't know whether the atmosphere is going to be good or bad for Johnny. Like, everyone kind of gave the game plan away up there. Dave Allen's like, I don't do a lot for the first 4 rounds, then I'm going to stick it on him. And Johnny went, I'm basically going to have a walk. That's it. He doesn't have the experience to do a lot else different. And that's why you're going to get your value for money on Saturday night.
I've always spoke to Johnny candidly and Mark and the team about his wave of momentum and balancing that act with the lack of amateur experience, right? He's probably skipped some half levels along the way, but this last fight and this fight have leveled him back up now. You can't play catch up in this game, but this is definitely a learning curve, this whole 2 fights.
Yeah, I mean, that was the problem going into the Dave Allen fight, and the worry is that he doesn't have the experience. And you can't buy the experience, you can't be guaranteed the experience, especially in the heavyweight division when you've got heavy hands. Like, we thought Babic might give him some tough rounds. It was over in a minute. And as exciting as that was, it was a bit like, shit, like we really, and then you go and fight Dave Allen and you're thinking, do you know what, if this goes 6 or 7 rounds, could get interesting. And that's what happened. Now he's done those rounds, I think he's going to be in good stead. But a lot depends on how Dave fights on Saturday. If he comes out aggressive, it's going to be an all-out war from the early stages. But sometimes Dave can be a little bit lazy. And I think a lot of those saying that I don't do a lot in the early rounds, that's because he questions his engine. I think if Jamie can say to him, no, you can do more in those opening rounds. You've got the engine to do 10 hard rounds. It'll be a tough fight for Johnny.
And we've had a roller coaster of events recently. Are we all set, guaranteed for the rematch between Eubank and Conor?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we signed for. We know the terms. We signed for it. The reason we took the fight was because it was a 2-fight deal. So that's what we expect. Obviously, the money's huge for Eubank as well, so I expect him to take it as well. I know a lot of talk about the weight and everything, and people aren't really talking about the fact that the hydration was no problem at all for him, the 170. He weighed in his clothes with a jacket on, that big Louis Vuitton rascal, and he was half a pound under. So he was anywhere between 2.5 and 3 pound under. That was easy. The 160, he's tight at, right? A lot of fighters are tight at their championship weight. So, at the same time, it's got to be safe for him, but we also know what we signed up for. So we'll see what happens. As we understand it at the moment, the date is September 27th is a potential date at Spurs. Conor's ready to go.
Last 2, Eddie. Conor was getting a lot of love in New York.
Yeah.
And he was, enjoying it, soaking it all up. It seems to be that Conor didn't lose anything. He gained in a great fight.
But that's what we're saying to fighters, right? And look, you never want to lose. But if you lose in a great fight, you can come again. Look at the fighters that are calling Conor Benn out. Shakur, Rowley, Devin, Ryan. He could fight any of those now. I've had Shakur message me today. I'll fight him at 147. Conor messaged me, make me and Shakur. Genuinely, you could make that fight easy.
Well, I posed our propositions that Conor might not be the B-side at all anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Because he's just done 67.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want him to. I'm not looking to send Conor Benn to the States. I'm looking for Conor Benn to fill out arenas and stadiums against big names in the UK.
But both are options, right?
Yeah, of course. But look, we know what we signed up for. Eubank's next, then we'll take one of those guys.
I have to ask, he was obviously seen with Pacquiao in Riyadh last year. And he's got the massive fight now with Barrios. Conor's got the rematch. But next year, do we start locking in back at 147?
I think so. I think it is difficult once you've been at 160 for a while, just to fall back to 147. But let's get the Eubank fight done, then we'll see.
Nice one, Eddie.
Cheers, mate.